How I agree with the viewpoint which have been given by the presiding members. My simple query is, you see, I am speaker from Himachal Pradesh, India, and a professional lawyer also. So you see, when you are talking about the benchmarking and the Latimer principles also. In any case, you see, this is the assembly, the parliament, they are the house of people. This is the representatives, those who are from the various ideology, they are represent the country or the state. You see, we have a politics in mind also. We are a political persons, belongs to A, B, C, different ideology and different political parties. Now the system is a public, this is a representative system which you are talking about, government by the people, for the people. And so is the case of the wings of the democratic setup also, which you have referred to, the executive, the legislatures, and the judiciary. And with the confrontation which we have throughout the world. Now, you see how we can establish the benchmarks to the public representatives, those who are elected members of the House, and they are to represent the interests of the state. You can't force them, you can't make any law, any policy for that purpose, because they have politics in the mind. They have to speak, and you see, they have to address the assembly in the manner in which they like. You can't force them. Which are the principles? Because inside the parliament, you are free to express your viewpoint. There is no law in the universe which can control a person, a public representative, while speaking in the parliament or in the state legislature. He can insinuate also, he can accuse also, and you cannot draw any privilege against that also. And no court of law can take any action against that person also. This is a freedom inside the four wall of the house, which we are referring to, which we are talking about. If you speak something outside, it amounts to a slander. It may amount to a libel also, as we were discussing the social media also. Now we have amended our laws also. Now this electronic evidence is also a part of the, this is a part of the primary evidence also. So in any case, the benchmarking can be dwelled by the individuals or the representatives, that they are being the representative of the democratic setup or the government or the government of the day or the government of the state. Then they are to speak for the welfare of the people, for the welfare of the state. So how we can form such benchmarking, this is what I want to know.
If I may just briefly, in our parliament, we have a privileges committee, we have standing orders, and it's not imposed, the code of conduct or the benchmarking is not imposed on members of parliament, but there is a consultation process through the committees. And of course, if you breach the standing orders, for example, we've had very recent, maybe a year or two ago, we had members of the opposition unplugging the microphone system. They ran with mace of our parliament, and they were suspended through the privileges committee. So we do have effective measures in parliament to be used. But I understand what you're saying. How do we implement the benchmarking without imposition? But I think it definitely comes through the various committees that you have, a sit down, a discussion, a consultation, because you're all representing the people. So you all, and then again, all of the codes of conduct, whether it be from the IPU or the CPA, I feel the bedrock is always the democratic principles. So I don't see that it is very difficult to adopt the codes of conduct. And in our parliament, our standing orders do usually, for example, if you have an opposition member who wishes to say something, the speaker will invoke the standing orders, and they have to withdraw that statement, or it's also stricken from the record. So it's not in our hands. It's not reflected. So you have those measures that can be taken.
That's not reflected, but otherwise on the social media that can be displayed.
Well, you can have the social media. Social media we have to control otherwise, and that's why I'm saying that the parliament is not the enforcing arm for social media. The parliament, though, is very effective in passing legislation, and therefore legislation is the way that you can, to me that is the most effective way to shut that down. So the enforcement arm will be the judiciary.
The lady at the back.